Hi everyone, a really interesting game week so far. A lot of the predictions I made on Friday went absolutely out the window, so I thought there'd be some banana skins this weekend. The only one really was the big surprise was how poor Tottenham were yesterday against Arsenal. I watched that game. I think from a fantasy perspective, it was really interesting watching two teams line up exactly the same system, and it was a battle of the three front players that swung it. So Kane, who I'd captained, didn't play very well. Eriksen and Ali, I thought were both really off the boil. On the flip side for Arsenal, Ozil, Sanchez, Lacazette, been fairly quiet this year, particularly Ozil and Sanchez from a fantasy point of view, but both played really, really well and have definitely come into contention now as form players from a fantasy point of view. I also thought there were two other standout Arsenal players that I thought were brilliant. Mustafi, who scored, he's available sort of 5.3. And Arsenal, I always think, look a lot better defensively when he's in the team. But the player that really caught my eye is a guy that's been very reliable in previous years, and that was Bellerin. And I think at 5.9, he's a real bargain, potentially. If you look at the chances he creates and the crosses that he makes from open play, those attributes are really valuable in the metric to get bonus points. So I think he's a player that could come good in the next few weeks. I thought over at Old Trafford it was interesting. Pogba back from injury and back amongst the points. Likewise, Chelsea very impressive. Hazard back on form. Liverpool very impressive. Coutinho makes them look like a totally different team. Salah looks like an absolute must-have. So I think it's really fascinating at the minute that there's so many players that are on form. There's lots of different options. Man City we've not mentioned, and they again look really comfortable against Leicester. So we're moving away from sort of a template look as to who you definitely need. I think probably apart from Salah and maybe Morata at the minute, I think there's debate and it's really quite open. Credit to people, there's a couple of people who tweeted me in the week about Callum Wilson, so credit to them, that was a great spot with him, getting a hat-trick of course. Elsewhere, West Brom, they look pretty tired, pretty poor to me. Likewise, Swansea. I think it was interesting. Burnley get another clean sheet. I think if you don't have a Burnley defender in your team, you need to go out and buy one immediately. They're what I'd call a set and forget. So you buy one, stick him in your team, and just sort of leave him there. So previous years we've seen teams like, for those of you who played the game long enough, Fulham, Bolton when they used to have Big Sam. Last year it was West Brom. And these were defenders you could just put in your 11 and they'd reliably drip through clean sheets because their form is outperforming their price in the game. So Burnley defenders are a big must-have. I think it was interesting that Everton scored a couple of goals on the road, and likewise Palace scored as well. I didn't see that game being a 2-2, so that one was good to see. Those guys getting back on form. I think Baines for Everton, Sigurdsson, these are two reliable fantasy players. So half of Palace likewise. Benteke's back on the field, so again we're opening up more angles for potential form players. So there's a lot of options there. One of the things I've come to notice this year as well that I've realised how important it is now to have 15 players in your squad that are playing every week. I think that's really key moving forward into the international, the winter period, not the internationals, into the winter period where the fixtures are going to be quite heavily congested. So if you're carrying dead weight amongst your subs, now's the time to start thinking about moving them out and putting in somebody that's going to play every week.